IFTV, the best in the world.
What is up, everybody? I'm Marco Messina.
And I'm Michael Kantaris.
And welcome back to another episode of Italian Football TV. The big day is finally here. Italy, Germany, the match that we've all been waiting for. Probably the most anticipated quarterfinals.
Yeah,
Are you excited?
I'm so excited, so anxious to see this game.
And how could you not be? And since it's such a special day, we have two special guests who are going to Skype in to the show a little bit later. But first off, let's get into the biggest news, which is that De Rossi trained with the team in the second part of practice. It's still expected that he doesn't start, and Sturaro will come in, but he'll be on the bench, and he could enter second half.
Let's not keep our hopes so high, but if he does manage to come, that'd be amazing news for them.
I feel like he's such a gladiator, he's such a warrior, that even if he has one leg, he's going to beg Conte to put him in the match. Yeah. But let's start off with the starting lineups, with the probable lineups. We'll go with Germany first. Neuer, Kimmich, Boateng, Hummels, Hector, Khedira, Cruz, Müller, Ozil, Draxler, and Gomez. A lot of very good defense. They haven't conceded a goal at the tournament so far, but Italy have also been very good.
Look, it's a intimidating squad for sure. Germany's a new level, and Italy's got to do something extraordinary, something out of the ordinary to beat these guys.
You said that extremely well. And having said Germany's probable lineup, let's go to Italy's. Buffon, Barzagli, Bonucci, Chiellini, Florenzi on the right, Sturaro, Parolo, and Giaccherini in the middle, De Sciglio on the left, and Eder and Pelé up top. The big news is that Parolo in the regista role, which hasn't played in the tournament so far, and Sturaro stepping in once again. What do you make of Sturaro?
Okay.
Is this what do you think of the lineup as a whole?
I mean, look, there's always going to be some complications, so Conte's doing the best he could. He's putting on these players. Sturaro, you said, had a great role against Real Madrid with Juventus. He did step up
when
to
he was
the play.
called up, he stepped up.
And he has to step up to play with the Azzurri here.
I think, well, we know the unity has always been Italy's X factor in this tournament so far. It's not, one superstar, even though the defense has been insane. The whole team as a whole needs to do well. And I think that Sturaro is going to surprise many if he does start the match, because I think he's got that hunger. He's young. He stepped up big time for Juventus when he was called upon, especially against Real Madrid.
I'm having my faith in you. But let's look at the attack. You see how he keeps Eder and Pelé? It looks like that's locked. He doesn't want Zaza in there.
It's like the defense. You got to keep something solid. And I think De Sciglio also is a big factor because he had a good game, and that left side is important. And with Florenzi and De Sciglio, maybe it's a more defensive look because Candreva, yes, that's another one who's not going to be playing the match.
Sure.
A little bit more defensive, but they also go up and help the attack. And I think against Germany, like we saw against Spain, you need to clog that midfield because Cruz is an important player for Germany, just like Iniesta was for Spain.
No, you're completely right. And I like that 5 midfields in the middle because, you defend with an extra person and you attack with an extra person, which I feel like it's awesome.
And, of course, De Sciglio and Florenzi, the wingbacks on that are extremely important, and they need to have solid matches. Again, Italy as a whole need to be solid. And right now, we are going to Skype with David Amoyal. David, thank you for being on the show.
Hey, man, great to be back on with you.
So, David, we know Italy, Germany is happening. What are your thoughts on this match?
At it a little bit like the match against Spain. I feel like, talent-wise, Italy is not as good. I think they have the edge in the coaching position by a significant margin. History is also on their favor against Germany, but, history. I think, though, for Germany, Italy's probably the last team they wanted to face, so I'll take Italy's chances. I mean, I don't think they're favorites, but I definitely think they have a good chance tomorrow.
David, well said. Do you see Italy coming out with a similar approach to how they beat Spain, clogging up that midfield?
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see what Conte does because, going into the match against Spain, I was expecting a lot of the game plan that he did against Belgium, so doing some counterattacks and trying to surprise them, on the counterattack. But against Spain, he definitely didn't do that. I felt Italy had most of the possession and most of the chances. So I'm really curious to see what he does. I think he's going to be very concerned in the midfield because Germany is very, very strong there. Khedira and Kroos have been superb, and if De Rossi plays, which seems possible now, he's not going to be 100%. I'm sure he's going to be protecting his midfield a lot.
It is unsure if De Rossi could play. We'll see if it happens. But if Sturaro does start, which seems possible, what do you make of him? What do you think of Sturaro playing?
Well, I think, Sturaro has a good track record in big matches where he plays where you don't expect it. Last year in the semifinal against Real Madrid, he started, was really a decisive player in that match. Also against Bayern this year, maybe he didn't play as well against Real Madrid, but he showed up. So I think, there's confidence in him rising to the occasion. There's also a reason why Conte brought him to Germany. He had, other alternatives. People were looking maybe Jorginho, maybe even Montolivo, and he's on the team instead. So Conte definitely has a lot of faith in him. I think, his work rate, and he has a nasty streak that might be very valuable. So even if De Rossi starts, I do think we're going to see Sturaro at some point because De Rossi doesn't have 90 minutes in his legs, even fully healthy. So we'll see some of that. I think De Rossi, though, deserves a lot of credit. His attachment to the Italy jersey is very refreshing. You see a lot of these guys that play for Roma who have maybe more of a bond for their club than the national team. Well, De Rossi really, really loves the Azzurri, and he's doing all he can to play, and hopefully he will.
Germany have not conceded a goal yet in the tournament. Neuer and the defense, their backline has been extremely solid. How are Italy going to break down this German defense?
Well, it's going to be tough, but I think Germany in a way has a player that reminds me a little bit of Bonucci in the way Boateng plays. A backline regista that distributes a lot. So maybe Italy is going to try to take advantage of that. Not expecting it. I think Eder and Pelé were getting a lot of criticism going into the Euro, but they've really delivered goal-wise, work rate-wise. So hopefully they can press Germany and make a mistake and make them pay for it.
Okay, David, we all know Italy played against big teams like Belgium and Spain and obviously beat them. How do you think they'll play against Germany? Are Germany too big for Italy?
Maybe, but let's go back to the Euro 4 years ago. In the semifinal, I didn't give Italy much of a chance. I think that Germany team back then may have been maybe a little bit better than the team now. I mean, they have a lot of intriguing young players. I will say this Italy team-wise, player talent-wise, definitely weaker than 4 years ago, but they definitely have the edge coaching-wise. I think Conte is superior to Prandelli and superior to Lowe as well, so hopefully he gives them the edge. He's been the edge against Belgium and Spain, and hopefully he'll do the same tomorrow.
I like what you said about Italy maybe not being as talented as Germany, and Del Piero gave a quote which agrees with this. He said, "This Italy isn't a team founded on talent, but it's a great group of certainties." What do you make of this?
Yeah, I totally agree. This week I wrote about Conte on the site, and I wrote that even I didn't agree with the selections, but at the same time, I followed Conte long enough to know that he values how the individual fits into the group as opposed to an individual elevating the group. So he's picked players that he felt would deliver and work well within the group, and so far they certainly had. I mean, look at Giaccherini. So many jokes about him being on the team, so many criticism that Giaccherini was only on the team because he was a Juve player and that Conte knows him, but he's to me he really kind of represents this Italy spirit. So I think sometimes the group can certainly overcome talent, especially when you have a great coach that knows how to get the most out of it.
We all know Italy's unit is their number one strength. Who do you think the player to watch out for against Germany is?
I think Parolo has been really, really good this Euro. 2 seasons ago, when Lazio qualified for the CL, I think he was in the conversation for having the best season for a midfielder in Serie A this year. Like most players on Lazio took a step back this season, but I think he's really delivered this Euro. So I think, he's really a player to watch. I think he's even more valuable with De Rossi, hurt and Thiago Motta suspended. I also think De Sciglio could really do some damage. He played very well against Spain, and you look at how much he struggled at Milan, but put in a place where he has a coach that believes in him and knows how to get the most out of him, he's really delivered. And I think Eder or Pelé might deliver once again. For all the criticism they've received, they've really been excellent.
So basically the whole team, right?
But if I had to say one, I'm going to go with Parolo.
David, we know you don't have the best track record with predicting games, but if you had to, who would you say is going to win this match?
Because of my jinxing ability, I'm going to go with Germany, and even my mind tells me that Germany is the favorite. But it really wouldn't surprise me if we see a repeat of what happened with Spain. But just for Scaramanzia-wise, as they powers are still there.
It is always a pleasure to have you, David. We thank you so much. Great guy, right?
Of course, we all love David. Come on.
Such a good insight onto the game. And yes, as he said, the unity of this team. Germany might be big. They might be bigger than Spain, but no one thought. I like how he said no one thought about it against Spain. He didn't think that they could beat Spain, and they're still possible. And we need to believe in that possibility. And like Luca Toni also gave an interview, and he was saying that Germany always start out as a favorite. Every time we play them, Germany are always the favorites, but the Italians always win. And it's been like that the last 8 games.
Do you notice how Italy's proven everyone wrong every single game? So
It seems like that every time, you know.
True.
And playing these big teams, as we said when it found out to play Spain, you know, me and you were kind of happy. We're like, listen, Spain's tough, but Italy do better than them, like a Sweden or an Ireland.
Italy plays their game against the bigger teams.
They step up, and you brought a great point on past previews how Italy's game is not, you know, towards that possession or controlling the game. It's reacting to that. How they did against Spain, how they did against Belgium, and how they will do against Germany. But again, there's a lot of factors that go into this. How the team's doing physically, you know, they need to be extremely prepared. We know Conte has been making them watch a lot of videos about Germany, and Di Francesco, Sassuolo's coach, even says that Italy will beat Germany on Saturday. We hope it's the same. And to get more insight onto this match, we have Sandro, Transfers Calcio on Twitter, with us right now. Sandro, welcome to the show.
My pleasure, Marco. Nice to be here.
So, Sandro, we know the big match is here. What do you make of it? What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, it's definitely an intriguing matchup for a quarterfinal. I mean, Conte's going to have to work some magic with De Rossi looking out with a calf injury, Mota out with suspension. Probably see Sturaro come in, play a holding spot.
Okay, Sandro, we talked about this with David. What do you think of Sturaro stepping up for De Rossi? Do you think he'll step up to the play?
I think if he performs to his capabilities, he can do well in that role, especially with Conte leading him. You saw it against Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Good point.
Working hard, the grinta, working in the midfield, winning balls, outletting passes into the midfield further up. I mean, everyone knows how Italy's going to play. Same way against Belgium, same way against Spain. Germany knows it, we know it. The only thing is if they can still execute it again against the defending world champions. For Italy, I really need them to take their chances a little better. I know De Gea played great last game, and Neuer probably will play very well. But when you play a team like Germany and you get chances like that, you got to find the back of the net, or it's going to come back to bite you. Buffon, he'll be there when we need him. BBC, formidable as ever, always solid. The one thing I saw last game, the last 15 minutes, Pele's legs really seemed to give out. He looked exhausted. I think Conte probably should have subbed in Zaza to run around. So we'll see how how everyone recovers, especially after a hard-fought game against Spain. They're on 1 day's less rest. I know it doesn't matter for a team like run by Conte, but it will be interesting to see. On Germany's side, I do think Draxler would give the Italian defense some problems. He's a nifty player, good technique, good speed, good on the ball. I mean, the thing about Germany versus Spain, they're a little more dynamic in attack, and they're not so one-dimensional, and they attack with a little more assertiveness. So it will be interesting to see how the Italian defense handles that.
You brought up a great point about Neuer and Germany not conceding a goal yet, and also about Italy not always taking light of their chances, not taking their chances when they got it. But Germany also haven't faced a tough opponent like Italy have. What do you think Italy needs to do to break down this strong German defense?
Well, I definitely think the German defense does have some holes that can be exposed. The left back, Hector, I don't think he's the best defensively. Maybe Florenzi bursting down the wing can get the best of him a few times. Boateng and who else did they play? Hummels?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're both pretty good. I do think Adair and Pele's link-up can cause them some problems. They caused problems for Piqué and Ramos. Sure. They did very well. Their link-up play was quite well. I mean, the thing is, if they were gonna do the counter-attacking style, they gotta attack quick with pace, get by, find the space behind the German defense, and attack from there. I think Italy did a very good job against Spain of when countering to get the ball wide, use the outside of the field, and then get the ball back in on a cross or cutting in or finding someone in the midfield and then attacking towards goal. To be honest, it's going to be tough, but I think Italy just needs to leave everything on the field. Conte will have them ready for this game.
For sure.
He is the best manager for a single must-win game in the world. I will take him over anyone. I think he will have this team absolutely ready and bombing on the field, leaving everything on it. And I personally can't wait. It's going to be a fantastic game. The team works together for everyone. They're all in it together. I think this one's going to extra time, 1-1 after 90. And Insigne with a goal coming off the bench in extra time.
Love it, man. I love that Del Piero-esque Insigne winner. Hopefully it happens. Sandro, thank you for being on. Your input is much appreciated. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Marco. Can't wait for the game.
Me
Forza
too.
Italia.
So, you heard it from David, you heard it from Sandro, you heard it from us. Are you guys excited for this match? I think this is like the turning point. If Italy can overcome this hurdle, I don't think a France or an Iceland or whoever makes it to the final can stop it, but full focus on this one.
I completely agree. They played amazing against Spain, but they have to notch up their level for the next one. Germany's a new kind of beast, and Gonda has to do the extra mile to make sure Italy take that win against Germany.
Yes, I agree with him. Like Florenzi said, this is Mount Everest, but we're going to climb you. Keep thinking positive. It's gotten us to the tournament this far. Believe in Conte's man. Let us know your predictions. Wait, we didn't give ours. They gave theirs.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Okay. So, David says a loss. Sandro says a win for Italy. What do you say, Mike?
I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Italy, and I'm sticking with Bonucci because I keep saying it. I think he's going to get a goal from a corner this time.
Okay, I'm going to say 2-0 win for Italy.
2-0.
I like Sandro's Del Piero-esque goal coming in and scoring. I do think Bonucci, and I'm going to go with my boy Giaccherino.
Okay.
Yes, that is it, guys. We hope you enjoy the match. Hope you enjoy our coverage. Let us know your predictions in the comment section below, and we'll see who's right. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao, ragazzi.